Lower Gallows Bay. My grandfather bought this house in 1931. This is number 1 Hospital Street. He moved here in 1933. He used the downstairs for his mahogany furniture repair. A 3-story house. The house probably dates back to the 1740s. Street I was brought up in that room up here. My grandfather bought this in 1931 and moved here in 1933. My aunt remembers scraping chewing gum from the floors because after the 28th hurricane, this was rented for a while as a junior high school. So the chewing gum was every day. He had his mahogany furniture repair store on the bottom floor. He made and repaired mahogany furniture, tables, picture frames, you name it. I can remember when my grandmother and aunt lived in this house, and one of the threatening hurricanes, I had to come up here and nail up the windows. This is the house that Hilda England lived in? Yes, yes. Hilda Bastian England, one of our teachers, lived in this property right here. Now, this one was called Shang-Yard, and we invited Mr. Shang. One of his daughters said that they would have him to come here and sit and talk to us. But there are a number of families that lived in the Shang-Yard here. Some of them are on the track to leave the people out there. Shang-Yard. And then this is the be a gas station right there. Steps with my father who belonged to the Elks. So the Elks, this was their meeting place. But the Elks, whoever bought all the properties up here and now refurbished it. Was the house of All right, and the guy for the lechon. Carmelo Velez, okay. This building was the Christiansted High School until such time as they moved out to what is now Christians Central High School. Because I graduated from this high school in 1950. And for another bit of information, the archives in Washington, D.C. has classroom photographs of people still living today, and you might see Ruth Wiggins in one of them. I believe May's mother is in one of them. That's how we And as you pass through this archway, you look up, shingles, building there. That was our school.
What is the business? It's not a residence. That's a business.
There is this big tamarind tree here. I had to stop every 12 o'clock when school was over. I went to pick the tamarinds, stop the Root Mother store, get the hard butter, to go up on the corner where I was living and had to have my lunch bread and butter and tamarind drink. And then my grandmother would say, go and brush your hair and don't you ever let anyone know that you didn't have chicken for lunch. Street before you get to the one with the yellow upstairs, that's where I lived from 7th grade until I was married. And there was no kitchen. Kitchens were in the yard, toilets were in the yard. And I always remember
And my brother, who did not like to wash the dishes, he'd get a comic book, go sit in the outhouse and read it so he wouldn't have to wash the dishes. But the kitchen was added there, and my mother did have a little grocery store downstairs at the first opening there. Lady who is now at Herbert Drake Home, Elsa Pedro, who just celebrated her 104th birthday. She and her husband used to live in the house right here on this corner. Reminded me, since the speaker mentioned about outdoor kitchen, outdoor toilets, of course we didn't have running water in the houses, but each neighborhood had faucets. And one of the faucets was right against the yellow wall there, right about where the pole is. So people came from there. Standpipe faucet, the pump, we used to call it the pump too. And we came with buckets from as far as the seashore where we live, up here to get water. There was another one around the corner by Andrews where we point out when we get there. But we provided our homes with water by taking buckets to the pump, the standpipe, the faucet, whatever you want to call it. But that's how we got our water for our homes.
That's terrible.
All right, this young lady, Anita Roberts here, is going to tell us something about the historicness of this area, and that's her sister right there.
My heart, and it belongs to the kids. The kids, her ears. And I was born in the yard. All of my mother kids born in the yard. Every last one, 10 of us, out in the yard. My grandmother used to bake. She sell fish. And my grandfather, he was a fisherman. My uncle, Leslie Lambert. All of them were fishermen also.
Tell us about the blood pudding.
Okay, I will. My mother used to make blood pudding. I made blood pudding, and right now they're killing me to do it, but I can't get the supply to do it. This blood pudding is made from take blood from pig and the rice and the seasoning. It's very nice, especially the gravy. That's all everybody wants. They have an oven in the yard, the remains of it is in the yard, but I see no trespassing as you may not get to go in and see what it looks like. In this area, from the time I know myself, and I'm making 70. I have a little picture here. My sister don't want me to show it, but I'm going to show it anyway. I have my own sister. She walking home. Somewhere in her car, but she took it from me.
Oh man, that's a lovely picture, man.
This is two of my kids and her. Mortal.
I asked to leave that picture in the car.
No, that's the sister right there. And then oven that you can make cake and tart and cookies and
And this is your outside sister?
Yeah, this is the outside sister.
To the dog.
Okay, you still use
Yeah, I'm glad you're bitten.
No, I don't know because I don't live here. I live in the project in Chabot.
Where is the oven?
Right here.
Where the trees are?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So it's falling down now?
Yeah.
We also want to point out here that in this yard we didn't have a lot of doctors in those days. So if you had a nurse living close by you, that nurse did all of the doctors usually did too. And there was one nurse named Miss Marslin who lived right in this yard, and she delivered almost every baby in Gallows Bay. Anytime my mother was ready, she just sent for Miss Marslin. Miss Marslin came down, did the delivery, so we didn't really need a doctor here.
Everyone in this community were related to each other. These were the Harrogans. Am I correct? These were the Harrogans and Adams, Bay, May's family. And across the street you have Bastion. You have Bastion across the street. And over here was my mother. That's the time all enough. And it goes back. This property was originally, all the properties as I remember were all built out of wood. They were all wood wooden structures, similar to what you see there and in the yard, and a few others we'll see along the way. This was my mother Jessica Tatine's property, but it goes back to the 1800s when it was built out of wood and shingle siding and a metal roof, a tin roof. And in the 60s, it was demolished, and this structure was put in its place to replace it. The family goes back to the 1800s. They were originally Hodge and Harrigan out of Senegal and Ghana. And Dr. Migos, which one went to Anguilla? Hodge. Both of them was Christian and Christiana Hodge and Harrigan. And from Anguilla, they migrated to Tortola and Tortola to St. Croix. When they came to St. Croix, my great-grandfather, Christian Harrigan, married Melissa Krauser, which is the same family that Krauser Lagoon on the South Shore is named after. And they built a wooden structure, and they ended up owning the whole block, lot by lot by lot, because the parents owned some, and then their children would buy a lot next to them. And as a result, my mother ended up owning from this corner over to the other corner. It's all one family. And across the street, the end property also belonged to my mother because it was her great-grandmother's property. So there are properties in Gallows Bay you'll find that the families have been living there for generations. They just kept passing it on from one generation to the other. And her property is labeled or addressed number 1 Lagoon Street. I don't know of another property that has the name Lagoon Street. I could be wrong. Chances are she named it that herself. That was her personality. Okay, thank you. Which way are we going, that way or straight up this way? When we pass here, you're going to see the fishermen. It has always been a fishing community, and most of the men were fishermen and the women were bakers. It was a poor community, interrelated families, very close. Of course, there were times when you had some strong personalities clashing too. But if someone from the outside came in, they held together against that person. Okay, thank you.
And talking about Senegal and Ghana, one of our relatives who worked in a museum in New York was able to trace my great-grandmother, our great-grandmother, Christiana Hodge, from St. Croix to Tortola to Anguilla to Senegal. And my great-grandfather, Christian Harrigan, from St. Croix to Tortola to Anguilla to Ghana. It's very interesting. In Ghana, I didn't have a connected feeling. But in Senegal, the people kept stopping me on the street and saying, "You're one of us, you're one of us." And the night the Senegalese dancers put on a performance on Gorée Island, and that's where the slave castle is, from where they brought the slaves from. One of these Senegalese dancers came into this big audience, and "Why did you pick me up, take me up on stage to dance?" I had a blast.
Brenda forgot to mention that the Hansons live right here. It was a big yellow wooden house with a red roof. And I think everybody
Harrigan.
had green, windows green, shutters, and kind of shutters that you could flap up and down jealousy. And right back here was a step where the sidewalk is, was a big long step for the house. And it was the meeting place. There was a light pole right here. Right where the pole is was the light. And it was this was a gathering place for everybody from up there and around the area. If we weren't under the pole telling stories, we were sitting here on my mother's step. But when she was ready to go to sleep, she would warn us, "I'm sleepy, so I'll get off the step." A little laughing, and Martha reminded me, "Martha, so I have to talk about this." Because after about 2 warnings, if you didn't get off the step, my mother always had a bucket of water. And the next thing is she would, the door was low and the water would just come. Everybody would scatter. So if you and Miss Ilma step past 9 o'clock, and she told you to leave, otherwise you'll get a bucket of water.
And Silla Harrigan is the daughter of George Harrigan and Rosalie Williams Harrigan Neptune. And my Aunt Inez has a number of children, I believe a total of 21. And several of them are here. And they in turn have many children as well, and we'll have that family tree up there next tomorrow. Right. I'm an adopted Gallows Bay, and my husband is Rubio, who is sitting over there, and his mother is Inez Adams and Canasión. But he, oh, there's the barista coming. He also, one of the things that Rubio said is that his mother's aunt, Georgiana Harrigan, used to raise sheep. They talk about people being bakers and fishermen, but she also had a sheep pen here in this area, so that was an additional piece of history.
Red Wall, when we were walking up Hospital Street, the house with the...
Which house?
It was the house that beyond the Red Wall as we looked up the street.
Oh, yeah.
From the Caribbean dance.
That was where Georgiana Harrigan lived.
I also want to point out that George Harrigan and one of his sons were actually killed by lightning while they were gathering sheep in the Gallows Bay area. And I found that out because Veronica Phillips found it. And my Aunt Inez is one of the oldest Gallows Bayrians still around. She is 91 years old.
I'm going to wear that.
How much I got? Yeah. If I learned anything today, I learned that.
As you would know, Gallows Bay continues a tradition of everything that we do, but the fishing and the roasting of the fish on the bay, Wednesdays and Saturdays, continues to be done. And that reminds me that Inez's father, Joe Adams, was a fisherman, as was his brother.
Panchi?
No, you walking on my salvage.
Come, Panchi. Panchi, could stop working on your salvage for a minute. And every Saturday morning I drive past here. Yes, Panchi. Panchi, come a minute. Every Saturday morning I drive past here at 5:45. I have to be careful because I mean the people are in there for their food and back out in the street. I worked with Panchi's father, and all he used to call me was Hurricane instead of Harrigan.
Hey, Chris, I think I got one thing to say. One thing to say. See up there? I want everybody to look up there. Well, Mr. Armstrong can't get his bed, right? That's a state of welcome you have to stop. This is our identity theft. Identity theft by Mr. Armstrong. This is Gallows Bay. We just had a man get shot up there by the hardware store. We had a man get robbed by the dock. He said Gallows Bay. He gave us a bad name. We don't like it. And I've been fighting this for years. Up there is not Gallows Bay. This is Gallows Bay. That's Monk Welcome. Identity theft got to stop. That's all I have to tell you guys. 57 years I've been born in Gallows Bay. I've been born in a hospital. 57 years I've been in Gallows Bay. All right? My house here is 30 years old. I'm born inside the yard. We have a great house in there. My mother lived there now. I take care of her. That's a great house I born in.
Okay.
Miss Thompson, the nurse next door, she brought me in this world.
Yeah, we
heard
about her.
Miss Thompson.
And Miss Marsden.
Miss Thompson brought me in this world, and also my younger sister. But I don't like the identity theft. And all I know is Gallows Bay, Gallows Bay. Stop it, man. This is Gallows Bay. That's Mount Welcome.
Okay.
Yes,
It got to
Panchi.
stop.
Thank you so much.
See, right here, Galatamanti, right here, where they are there. I was walking all over. And then they had a thing like a lagoon, a piece of lagoon right here. It used to come all the way up. We used to catch mollies and everything there. Right above there was
Put your hands to touch.
yeah, right there was the gallows, what they call it thing, we used to hang the people in the do ranking.
Exactly where?
Right.
Where those two cars are, is it?
Where the man got to then? Right there. Right there, that was the gallows. There was a big post. Then they had a road out, and that was the rope used to hang there. I saw that the guy come here in 1927, a young boy going to school, and I used to be around here. They had no house or nothing here, there was bush. They had like a little foot road towards the big lagoon. Then they built up, the house was little above there. That was like a house. They used to kick in the cattle themselves. But from there come right down is Gallows Bay, but I don't think they have named Gallows Bay. Manuel come away used to Gallows Bay. Yeah, across the street up there. Yeah, across it, yeah. Right.
This lady is asking if they used the gallows while you were here.
Did you see them use the gallows in Risto?
If I see what?
Did you see them using the gallows?
No. I was not slave then. That was a slave time, man.
Yeah, you're going yourself. Wait for the bullhorn, Velma. For the bullhorn? Right there. So talk into the mic. All right, okay. Go ahead.
There we used to have fish over there, and boat. The fishing boat come in and stop over there.
What's the name of your father's boat?
I
was just going to answer that. That escaped you?
Yeah, everybody had a name on the boat. But cause me now, I forgot the name of my father's boat. But he pitched me out and I had to learn to swim. Okay?
And that was the style in those days?
Oh, yes. And mango tree was over there. We had a lot of mangoes, all kind of fruit over there. You could have gone pick before them house come out.
The name of your father's boat was the Sweep?
Yeah, the Sweep. That's the name of it. And it was nice. We didn't have no fighting or nothing. All the boys and the girls was very nice in St. Croix. We enjoy ourselves. So,
what's your father's name?
My father was Lambert Martin.
I want to ask what
my
is
mother.
your name for the camera?
Huh?
Velma Martin. Velma Martin.
And your mother was Bottling Martin.
I want to ask a question that can be answered.
When we Bottling Peterson.
We keep referring to the fact that this had been a fishing community and the people came in there. Did they sell from the boat? Because I remember in my time that there was a fish market back of the port.
Yeah.
Because your mother, Miss Bertie,
Listen,
sell.
they come in with a small boat, put a fish in a small boat and bring it inside. And they come and they take whoever selling the fish and carry them on the wharf.
Yeah, okay, the fish market.
Yeah, the fish market down on the wharf.
Yeah, okay.
That was the fish market.
Sell here from the bayside.
No, they go down on the wharf and they sell.
In the fish market?
In the fish market.
Next to the fort.
That's like this right now, though.
A flat platform is there.
Yeah, it's gone down. It's not there no more. Yes.
Back of the port.
Yes.
Christiansted fish market or Gallows Bay fish market?
Christiansted.
Christiansted.
Call it anything other than
the fish market. You're welcome. Thank you, Velma.
Okay. Lady across here is Helena White. She was our local florist. She had roses, all sorts of flowering plants, and she used to cut and sell them. This was Jessica, my mother. This is her bakery. It was a single-story building, and they opened it up in the very early 50s. A niece that she raised from the age of 2.5 and myself, we used to get up 1 o'clock 6 days a week, come and work in here, and then get out the bakery until the sun came up and we were rushing to go and get ready to go to school. Everybody here was hard work.
Let me say, right across the street here, immediately west of us, anybody in Gallows Bay would know that there was a parrot that was residing right there by the name of Loretta. It is said that our parrots can have conversation, but that parrot used to make you wonder. Because they will have trees here with fruits and stuff like that. You go and pick one, the parrot said, Loretta, Loretta, the boy in the tree.
was not slave then. That was a slave time, man.